I'm sorry, I don't care what they say. There is no way you can strip paint off a car with a toilet seat. I'm going to be restoring my own E-Type Jaguar. It is so lovely taking cars to bits. I've got to take out the radiator, the transmission, the front and the rear suspension. The 4.235 litre heart of the big cat is plucked from its body. Hiya, welcome to A Car Is Reborn. Now, I knew I was going to have to take all the paint off this car, but quite frankly, this is getting tedious, because I've been doing this for about half an hour and I haven't even got down to bare metalwork here. But don't worry, my car restoring chums, because I've found a machine to do it for me. It's very technical, it's used in the aviation industry, and it involves this stuff. This is graded plastic, it's jagged, and it's made from recycled toilet seats. And basically, the machine is going to hurl this at this car in a stream of compressed air, and it just strips the paint off as quick as you like. That's the first stage in the process. I'll tell you about the other two later. Now, it's very noisy and it is very dusty, so I have to wear some special kit. First of all, earplugs go in here, like this. Inside here is an air feed, so I stay alive long enough to finish the job. And there we are, like so. See? Let's get blasting. So here goes with my baby. Now, the idea is if you keep the nozzle very shallow, it actually can almost strip off the paint in layers. So you can see here that we've got the creamy colour coming off the top. Under that there's a grey, then another kind of greeny colour almost, another cream, and then underneath that you can see there the metal coming up absolutely beautiful. Just amazing. Down to the bottom layers now. Okay. That is amazing. It's almost like painting in reverse, the way you can strip off each of those layers, and then underneath really is fantastic. So I've got to finish the bonnet, do the doors, do the tub, and then we'll go in the grit bay. I've got myself a new supervisor now, Danny. He's in charge of the grit process in here, which is what's going to happen to the bonnet next. So you can have a look at the bonnet in detail here. Stripped all the paint off, obviously, but what we've now got down here is all this rust. Now that was lurking underneath the paint, and if we just left this and sprayed it, ultimately this rust would have spread underneath the paint and you'd had a problem later on. So what we're going to do now is use a process using grit, crushed garnet. You got any garnet, Pete, mate?
Yeah, got some here, mate.
Lovely job. Meet Alf Garnet. This is very fine, it's a mineral, and it's quite abrasive, and it's like a scouring action under pressure, that it doesn't blast off the rust, it just scours it off so it doesn't damage the metal again. This is a more dodgy process though, because if you get the nozzle in the wrong angle and you don't do it perfectly, you can generate a lot of heat which can cause problems or even go right through the metal. So a bit more worried about this process. But let's get on with it, because I want to get on building this damn thing. Right, come on! Right, helmet! Okie doke. Okay. Immediately you can feel how much higher pressure this is, but you can see already that it's lifting all that spidery looking rust off the car, and you're getting this kind of almost like powder coated look to the metal, which is just bare metal, and it doesn't really blast it because it's not that high a pressure. It actually like scours off the rust, and you just need to keep quite a long way off. Fantastic. That was, cheers mate, that was a much more difficult process than the plastic. There's a lot more pressure on the hose, which you immediately feel, but the finished result is absolutely incredible. Now from here, when that's completely finished, it has to be phosphate coated, because almost immediately you're down to bare metal. Even moisture in the atmosphere, even sweat on your hands will start the rusting process. So that's next job, and then it's back to the workshop. This is an incredible place, It's like a health farm where old cars come to be cleansed. This is a Di Tommaso Pantera. Oh yes, indeed. It's got to be stripped yet, though. They do everything here. They've done Formula 1 cars, Bentleys, Ferraris. Here, this is number 3 of 4 prototypes of the 911. The 911 grew from this car. But you may be wondering why I'm talking about all this stuff which has nothing to do with the Car Is Reborn. Well, it's because I'm delaying the moment to have to tell you some bad news. My car is pants. It's a tea bag. It's got holes in it. Look at this. It's been repaired 1,000,000 times. This is what stripping does for you, though. It reveals the true nature of the beast. Because this wing actually looked quite nice when I bought this car, but it was completely shaped with filler. Underneath, there are patches, there are holes. It's a nightmare. What is Steve going to say? Because he's going to see it next, because we've got to get this little baby back to the workshop. Well, that's it. The car's on its way back to the workshop, so a good opportunity for you to take a look at John Jackson's Jaguar XK150. Very nice indeed. Now, the reason I want you to watch that now is because I need to catch up with the lorry, and it could take me a while.
It was manufactured, finished in July 1958, and then in August of that year it was exported to the States, to New York Motors, and they sold it on to somebody in California. And the reason for that was that probably at least 90% of all the Jaguar cars were exported. The country at that particular time was short of dollars, and it was a way of obtaining dollars, and Jaguar were being sort of financed by the government at the time. We purchased the car 7 years ago and then started the restoration of it. I've had a lot of help with it. One of the past judges from the Jaguar Drivers Club, he's helped me. We use his knowledge. I've also got a friend who works with me, the mechanic. I couldn't really evaluate the number of hours, but it certainly runs into thousands. The biggest problem was hiding the bills from my wife. But other than that, I think probably obtaining parts. Although it was virtually intact when I got it, the parts was a difficulty, but we managed to overcome that. Probably the biggest problem of the lot was the actual gaps around the doors, the bonnet, making sure that things fixed. We completed it in July year 2000, just in time to enter it for the Jaguar Drivers Club's Millennium competition, which we managed to win. I just had this love for a Jaguar. I was about probably 12, 13 at the time, and I saw the XK150s, and I said that when I get older I would get one. And that was the wrong way of going about it. I didn't know anything about them apart from the fact that they look nice. And what I should have done was joined the club, got some advice. I didn't. I went straight for it and I just bought it. I didn't really know what I was buying in terms of what was needed. But I think the real answer is to join a club. Get advice from people who have done it. They know all the pitfalls, this sort of thing. We said that we'd give it 12 months and we'd do a few shows, but at the end of 12 months I want to drive it and enjoy it. It was built to drive and not just as a polished object. I would build another one, and the reason for that one is purely that I've got two sons, and when I pop my clogs, I know they'd be fighting over it, so the idea is to do a second one. I'd get the same car, the same colour, that sort of thing, purely for them.
Welcome back. I'm back in the workshop now with the baby, and I've sweated to get her onto a specially made jig. Now, that's the brown bit here. It's a really important bit of kit because this is a monocoque design, the tub, which is inherently stable when it's all fixed together properly. But if we start cutting out panels, it can very easily twist. And when we put it all back together again, it's not straight and it's not square, but the jig will hold it in position. Now, I haven't actually shown Steve the metalworking Supremo, what this car looks like now it's been stripped. Last time he saw it, it still had all its paint on. It didn't look too bad. So, in part 2, find out what he thinks of it.